Hey all, this is Xenoxis, and this is now part 3 of the Xenoxis show for the for the 30th of July 2025. Yeah, we're gonna finish this race actually and stuff. I'm gonna be curious though to see what position we can get with comfort holds, and stuff like that, because yeah. And I'm not gonna say that oh, if we can win this or get like a good position even with comfort holds, then it's still not worth using comfort holds. I feel like, because yeah. We lost a lot in the beginning, of course, because I tried to do like a setup with the thing as well, which was really bad for us as well. Stuff that, because they got a lot of positions on that, because I went into the ball and stuff early. That sometimes seems to actually affect the strategy, because saying, oh, they always do the same thing, but that's actually not true. Gigal comes in. The question is, can we take Gallo here? Can we come out ahead of him? Is the question. Yeah, that is. Why does it happen sometimes? Sometimes if you brake too late, but sometimes, like if you try to brake, sometimes it also has to do with how hard you press on the brake as well, but that seems like. The problem is now the engine is limited to 270 because the engine is damaged. But I also think, like, for example, why couldn't they have, for example, like a water cap or a rain cap where every single stage there is rain on it, like all the time or whatever, right? Keep in mind that I will be able to have like a way high corner speed if we had like better tires and stuff like that. Like the good thing about the Volvo is, of course, is yes, you can have a shit ton of horsepower in it, but also have pretty decent tires and stuff like that. Because yeah. Because the worst thing is if a lot of them do like pit, and then I don't gain any positions on them pitting. At least I didn't damage the enemy there. Yeah, now I also pitting. sold on display. I tend to concentrate a bit, but yeah. I mean, as long as they don't catch us now on the stage, but that's the main problem, that this car is really, really bad in these corners that they take like time on us all the time here. Because they are all using sports tires. I cannot, like, I mean, technically they're not even using sports tires, right? No. But because when their symbol shows up and it shows S, means that they have like racing softs or whatever. If it just shows up as an S, because that's not how the tires I'm using shows up, or how sports softs show up. It's a 200 mark. Still enough. No, that's not enough. Okay, we need to make over in that. Yeah, because you can see that S there, for example, means that they're using racing softs. It's absolutely insane, really, when all things considered. Okay. Can we actually take this corner for once? Yes, we can. That's actually pretty decent. We're doing, considering we're using comfort hards, which is really not good for us at all. There's no way we're gonna hold back this guy if we come here. I mean, I don't know if everyone has pitted yet or whatever, right? Because, you know, you aren't even gonna need to get full fuel, by the way, either. Pokemon is okay. This would be curious, because I'm always up for testing on this track. Like, a lot of my losses is specifically on this track and stuff, that like just trying out dumb combinations. And then even if there I was able to break there. That was weird when I almost broke when I hit the brakes way late. There I feel like I did. So we need to go in, we don't change tires, we just fuel up. I hope it did show correct also, by the way, because here's the thing, right? If they've changed it so that the value there is not correct anymore, so you actually need to have more fuel than what it shows, then that's absolutely bullshit in my honest opinion and stuff like that. If it didn't show you the correct amount anymore of fuel that you need and stuff like that, because that just like it's like, okay, like now you need to fuel this amount more, but then please like have it reflect that, because it feels like really bad, because then it feels like you get tricked basically, because before it always showed you the correct amount, so you know that you can make it to the like goal with that amount. Yeah, Gallows Tombstone. Was that because of fuel though? I feel that was not because of fuel, that was because of tires actually. Oh, that was because of fuel. Maybe that's where we're used to the wall grind. Let's decrease the volume. I didn't realize it was that loud actually. Now the question is though, can we actually get a decent position still? Because I'm pretty certain that most of them has taken over their black pit stop, unless they are pitting twice. Yeah, but I definitely feel like with this car we probably could use sports. I don't know, technically soft spot, but still. Okay, they are pitting. We can get a 212, so we can almost match Gallows time. You can get a really, really good time there, I feel like. Everything properly. feel I probably need to go in non-gearbox and chains also as well to like decrease what the top thing is there. Because I feel the Volvo is also doing very good because of its acceleration and stuff that it definitely feels like the acceleration on this is a bit lacking in some areas. So no more pit stops at least. And there should be enough fuel for them. In place. I did do the fastest there, so you can do really quick times. I kind of wish that I figured out the wall grinding there earlier. Is the fuel enough though? That's the question. Say, I don't mind, we're not going to get a lot of cash here anyway, so still. I also think that certain cars would have like some sort of a fuel thing that when it shows 0 it doesn't just kill them in the instance of that because, you know. See, it ran out of fuel there, which it shouldn't do. So it doesn't give you enough fuel. The thing is showing you wrong when you're pitting and refueling, because you shouldn't have to drive all the gold this way with your fueling. Oh, 10th place, such amazing. That's still 143 though, which is, you know, okay, I guess. Yeah. So it's definitely doable with this car. With the correct settings, pretty much. That's what I feel like, at least. And why not just use always the Volvo? Because you won't have variation at times. Okay. Get that. Get comfort mediums. Get comfort softs. Can we use comfort softs and get down to business? Normal. 250. You know, I That's probably too low though. Can we bring it like just... I just want to test what the default here is actually. If I have it on the default, if I have it on 250 there, like what is the actual... Yes, just have that set to normal then. Yeah. And we want above by the ballast and the power restrictor thing. I'm just double checking here again. So ballast shenanigans. Okay, 637. We're choosing that to normal 606. Okay, that's actually better. Okay, so normal on that. No. Yeah, that's something that I didn't think about actually. Yeah, that's actually better. That is worse. That's actually better, the height adjustable thing. Let's break it. That. Ooh, low. That's because of multiple manual transmission. That's that transmission. So that's actually 596 on that for the. Maybe have that then installed. We cannot do something and say like go to sports hard, right? I mean, what is sports softs again? Yeah, 663, that's actually worse with that setting. Sports. 652, 653, 645. Six 46, 644. Is that the default on the frequency here? Maybe I can use the default values here. Maybe not. What? If we go down to comfort soft and get more back here in terms of horsepower. Can like we reduce the ballast? Set it to 0. Now we cannot get away with that. Set it to 50 maybe. Okay, 83 there. But there is one that has the balance in another way, so that we can maybe get... Okay. Okay. That is with Comfort Soft. I can get 996 horsepower out of the car. That seems decent still. Okay, so this is gonna go with Comfort Soft. I want to make sure though that the torque differential is not. Wait, hang on a second. If I change this to normal, sorry, this to normal. Can I get away with? If I say up the ballast, can I get away with? I can get away with sports hard. Can I sports medium? Is that possible? Yo. Six and 696 706. Okay, we can get away with sport medium if we don't go with the high RPM turbocharger. Let's try it. I'm curious to see how this will go. Because obviously we don't need the assist on at all. We can have taking control off. So we can use sports medium, which is actually pretty crazy in my opinion. We're gonna see how the default gearbox does though. Yeah, so 290 is not that good, to be honest. That's really a big problem. I mean, if we're better now taking the curves, and that's a big difference, of course, obviously. If this is leaner on the car also, we can avoid making us stop even later than that is also very, very insane, by the way. The main problem is we cannot even reach 300 is the main problem, really, I feel like. break it to progress too. Why do you have to fucking damage the engine when you crash into that and stuff that? Because you know. Six. See how much you lose just because of that. That's just so frustrating. I'd say, oh, it's because of it's because of the fact that it's wet. Like, sure, that could be true, but still only 290 here. It's not going to be good enough. Oh yes, sure, we can take curves better now and stuff that, and of course, when they go in and pit, we don't need to pit, but then of course, if our speed isn't high enough, then it won't matter if they go and pit and stuff that, presumably. If we're faster than the other cars here, then that will be actually a really, really good sign at least. And if we would switch, for example, for the fully racing thing, then we would probably need to, like, again, like, worsen our, like, acceleration and stuff that, because when you set the gearbox to allow for, like, higher speed, sometimes, like, that often messes up the acceleration and stuff that's there. It's better at least. Så blir det damage längre. It could again be because of its wet action and stuff that we can actually reach higher speed. I mean, the thing would be like that we have to gain enough time when they're in the, like, the pit and stuff like that. Because yeah, the speed is very important, of course, as well. You know, there's often a whole thing that, oh, you need to test and stuff like that several times and stuff like that. So. But imagine also if you have something like this in a Gran Turismo, where in the beginning you would choose like a brand to represent or whatever, right? You could represent different brands in different classes, but it would be like a permanent choice, and the game would tell you like, okay, this is a permanent choice. So then, for example, you would want to get certain cars, for example, with certain brands, like, oh, do you want to be a Nissan, you know, and stuff like that, like, oh, in this lowest, right? And that each class have like certain ones, so you can choose a brand for each class, like for the K car, you can choose a brand for a sub class, you can choose a brand. So that because it's very interesting is there's of course a way to view like only like Gear 4 cars, Gear 3 cars, Gear 2 cars, so on and so forth. But there's also an actual car category, by the way, that you can see in the garage, where you can see cars that the game identifies. And the funny thing is, certain of these cars doesn't technically have races on their own. Stuff there, but yeah. Keep in mind that if we could change our speed, that would be really good. But it actually seems like even though we can only reach 290 here, we're just doing way better in these sections now. So we can still actually catch opponent drivers and stuff like that, you know. Because if we're faster in these sections than the other drivers, for example, then that's going to be really, really good and stuff like that, you know. There are of course other ways we could try and optimize things and stuff like that as well, because you know, because yes, if we give ourselves more resources, then 290 will probably not be the maximum, it will probably be higher, of course, obviously. Yeah, we damaged the engine there. But then that port should have its engine also damaged or whatever. You see it's not coded to go past him. To try to pass him at least. Yeah, his engine is also damaged, as you can tell there. Yeah, that's the absolute worst thing that can happen, of course, but of course if we had better... The thing we're gonna have to try and abuse is, of course, the fact that they need to do pit stops. And I hardly need to do a single pit stop. Whatever. Because what is it? We need to pit on lap 10. Almost something like that. Yeah, we just need to learn to take that one curve correctly and we will gain a lot of time actually. And then it's way too early to brake there, for example, like it's just so weird. It does also be different sometimes. I want to get past Alzagella. How much does he fuel up here? Because it's really like, why wouldn't he fuel up fully then? Maybe he does. No, he doesn't fuel exactly full. Maybe he does, okay. Why was he trying to block the road? Very good, 5th place. Just nowhere that we're faster than a Volvo though at doing the race in total, but still, you know. I could probably optimize to see stuff that, you know. And again, we know that we're quicker than them in these sections and stuff that, so yeah. I really like the idea of blocking the studio engine in several. Like, I kind of wish they would add even more cars to put like a studio engine in. Maybe even also put like the Ur Quattro, like the really old Audi Quattro car, like the Max Leak one. This is actually a normal rally car also as well. So. Okay, we're gonna brake a little bit late. I'm gonna try and brake at the 200 mark. Slightly before it. Okay. Nice. Is it gonna pit? Yeah, but we're coming out for second place. I mean, this strategy is not that bad, really, to be honest. And I mean, it might be the fact that, yes, we cannot use... I mean, if this is the case that we cannot use, for example, like if we were using hards, we wouldn't be able to drive as good as we can in these corners and stuff like that, you know. So I'm pretty certain that Kokobun is going to come in. So that we are still recording, right? Yes, we are. I don't know if we even have enough time to finish the race or whatever, but yeah, we'll see. You see, that's the thing, sometimes it's so weird to try and take, you know, certain drivers, right, you know. I'm gonna brake slightly before the 200. So it's the first sign, right? Okay, that's perfect. Go. Storm front. Okay, he didn't pit yet. Imagine if we pit at the same time. Actually, we'll probably pit later. And the good thing we are, again, as you can see, they're on the tires. They are pretty almost equal. Well, not really. The brake balance should probably be a little bit less or whatever. You know, so yeah, a lot of them went into pit now though. I must have said. The fact that he's losing time now, that is really good. Hopefully he can lose time in this corner here as well. That, because yeah. And the fact that we can push the car even more is so good and stuff like that, you know. So what, we went from 22 down to like 18 or something like that. So 21, 20, so 4 seconds. Stuff like that. So we will normally take 4 seconds here, even if it doesn't pit. As long as we do this corner right here. Yeah, good. That's the breaking point. Just slightly before the 200 mark here. That's a little bit wider than I would want, but still. Is he pitting? He is pitting. There's no way that he needs to refuel that little. We haven't even begun refueling yet though. Needle 53. Now the question is, do we actually put on new tires? That was the question. And I'm also not going to trust how much fuel it says that we need and stuff like that, you know, because that has been shown wrong on other cars. It's really bad that it has been shown wrong on other cars. You know, we could probably avoid sinking tires, but I feel like we're probably going to be able to get really, really fast lap times if we actually change tires. So that's it. Because since we're coming in now basically and it's going to be like lap 10, that's going to be rather insane. As long as we do this curve right. I think. But that's way better. It's only like 9 seconds they can go by a Scalo that has passed him. Medium. Right, I'm gonna refill a little bit more than that though. The yellow is coming in. I'm gonna go for a little bit more than that. I'm gonna go for that amount. Just two. Okay, so third place coming out in pretty decent. That might be enough actually to finish the race. Might actually be able to catch Cocky Blue. We'll see. Up, down, I'm so confused. is actually increasing the distance there for a while at least. Because also if we can quote unquote get better brakes by the way installed or whatever, right, and then like change the sports hard, and then maybe get a little bit more horsepower than that, like the road difference. Because it definitely feels like not using the turbo engine seems to be a way better goal. Because imagine if we would have gotten to at least 300 here. It's almost 7 seconds at that point, yeah. This is still a very, very big improvement of course than what it was before. We're actually catching him. Is it that they don't change tires or whatever? Because if they don't change tires, that allows me to, for example, press my car more and they cannot press their car, then we're gonna catch him. The last lap maybe even. Because we are not using ABS. We are using ABS. That could maybe, sometimes that can actually make you drive faster sometimes. So last lap. Yeah, you're not even going to get to see the final time here if you catch him or not, sadly. But it looks pretty likely if we do the corners correct here. So close now. Maybe used to a short bone spot. I'll keep in mind of when this stops though. You have to focus at the same time. But it's not easy.